Can you speak to that? What are the different styles of judo? So for you, you mentioned Uchimata, Taitoshi. These, how would you describe them? They're like these effortless, less lifting off the ground and power and like strength and explode, and more timing and
movement,
position,
momentum,
momentum, all this kind of stuff. That's more traditionally associated with Japanese judo. Because like for Japanese judo, the traditional judo, like you're supposed to throw people in a big way without much effort.
And of course, 1990, we saw the introduction of all these Eastern Bloc countries. There were so many more. I mean, it was Soviet Union when I was competing. And then, of course, in 1990, everything changed. And then there were so many more of them out there, different countries where, that their wrestling styles were introduced into judo. Put a jacket on them and let's get into judo. So judo kind of changed shape. It changed shape from this upright standing, and having to know the technicalities of how to get a body that's weighing 14 stone or, whatever it is up into the air, and using the momentum and the balance and the direction and the skill to do that, and knowing how to do it, and how to use movement. And then you get, the wrestlers and the leg picks and the double legs, single leg, double legs. And, and it kind of, by 1995, judo was bent over. Mm-hmm. And so it was the IOC that went to IJF, International Judo Federation, and they said, you got to change this or we're just going to have one wrestling style. It looks like wrestling with judo, with judo jackets on. So you either change it or we're going to take one of you out.
By the way, we should sort of clarify, when we say people are bent over, that's usually how you see freestyle wrestling. Wrestlers are more bent over to defend the legs and so on. And traditional judo, people are more standing up because that's the position from which you can do the big throws and all that kind of stuff. But I think the other case to make for banning leg grabs is, a lot of people are using it for stalling and not for beautiful big throws and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so it's not just not to make it different from wrestling. It's also like you want to maximize the amount of epic throws and dynamic judo and exciting stuff to watch, right?
Yeah, win by judo, not by wrestling. And I think that, the ones that were shouting about it were the wrestlers, right? Because they like to compete with both. They want to do both. They want to do, their wrestling matches and then come into judo. Yeah. So basically, I mean, what we've said is, then learn to do judo, and there's nothing stopping you then from doing both, right? But not from the other way around. All right. So rules always dictate development. They'll always dictate which direction it goes. So if you introduce a rule that states that you cannot dive at the legs and just pick up, then you'll have to do it standing up. And also it increases the possibility of defense with the hips. Because actually, good defense, judo-wise, standing up, is with the hips, as opposed to sticking your arms out and then sticking your backsides out there just to defend. All right, so if you attack me and I move my body in the wrong place, so I'm in the wrong place at the right time, so you don't hit the right target, and then also I use my hips, so again, it's a form of judo that was being lost. Mm-hmm. So now we got it back.